Hello everyone, my name is Mark Newman. As we get close to 30th of June, I wanted to give everyone an overview of taxation planning and why it's important that we consider this well before 30th of June. So what is taxation planning? Taxation planning is basically gaining an understanding of our taxation liabilities and when they fall due. So how do we do this? Simply, we look at our business profitability to now, we then project our business profitability to 30th of June, and then we work out the associated taxation that is due. Now, why is this important? Well, it's important for a couple of reasons. Firstly, our taxation can be a major cash flow issue for a lot of businesses. So we want to know that when our taxation debt is due, that we're going to have sufficient cash flow to meet these requirements. So therefore, having an understanding of when they're due, we can assist us with this process. There's other reasons we also want to understand our profitability. For example, if we're looking at doing expansions and may require debt finance, we're going to need to know that the business is profitable enough so that we can go to the finances and they're going to lend us a sufficient amount of money. So why do we want to do this well before 30th of June, for example, now? Well, we actually want to make sure that we've got time to do things. So for example, if we think our profit's high and we want to reduce our profit, for example, buying a vehicle or other equipment, we actually need time to arrange for this process to happen to make sure that it's ready and installed prior to 30th of June so we can claim it as a tax deduction. So it's important that we start actually considering this early and not just leaving it late. Now, I get the feedback from a lot of businesses they don't understand their profitability or it fluctuates too much. Well, we actually do this with some other businesses where we actually do this process twice. Firstly, we'll have a look at where it is at the end of March once we've done the March BAS returns, and that gives us a guide to the end of the year. And then, if needed, we can actually review it later, for example in late June, and determine if there's additional strategies that we want to take. So how does taxation affected by our profitability and doing planning? So let's say we look at our profitability to March and we're showing $100,000 profit. We then project to June that we're going to make another $50,000 profit because it's going to be a good last quarter, which gives us $150,000 profit for the year. So in very rough numbers, if we're a company, we'd be paying tax of $40,000 on this. But also, the ATO would want us to pay instalments, that's instalments of $10,000 per quarter, i.e. another $40,000, i.e. $80,000 they're going to be looking for in cash flow over the next 12 months. Now, for some businesses, they may say, well, I'm happy with that. Or other businesses say, well, actually, I've got plans of buying another vehicle. Now, and if we can do that prior to 30th of June, what would that do? So, for example, same scenario of $100,000 profit. We buy a $50,000 vehicle, which takes the profit down to zero, which leaves $100,000 profit. Tax is roughly $25,000, installments $25,000, so the cash flow over the next 12 months will be reduced by $30,000. Now remember, I always tell people, whenever looking at taxation planning, don't spend money to get a tax deduction, spend it because you need it. Because buying a $50,000 vehicle only saves $15,000 in tax. It also helped reduce the instalments, but depending on our profitability, that's just tax for the next year. So that may be a benefit or may not be a benefit. So that's just a quick overview of why we go through taxation planning, just so that people have got the certainty of, rather than waiting till they do the taxation return and finding out they've got a $40,000 bill and wishing they had done something, now they actually have an understanding of what the bill is likely to be, and therefore they can prepare and plan, or even just leave things as they are. If you have any questions about taxation planning, please do not hesitate to contact me. Thank you for listening. Mark Newman.